Alrighty guys, today we're going to go over how to create and manage and navigate your very own Discord channel through the mobile app. Now I do not know for sure if the iOS version for iPhone is exactly the same. I couldn't tell you, I've never messed with an iPhone, but what I can tell you is how to navigate through the Android version. Alright, so right here you're going to have a list of all your channels. You got this little line right here, so up here would be any private chats or anything like that that show up for you. Over here is going to be a list of all the categories and things like that in your server. Right here is going to be your categories. You drop them down, and you're going to have your channels. Alright, and we'll go over what that lock symbol right there means later on. Alright, so first things first is right down here at the very bottom, you'll see this little arrow right here. You'll hit that right there, go to create server, and it'll bring up this right here. So we're not going to put up any images, but so I need to make one anyway. So go here, give it a name. We're done. Region. Right there. Create. I can invite, if you have people already added, invite them right off the bat. Or you can right off the bat copy this little link right here, stuff like that, all the normal stuff. But I don't want to invite anybody yet, I just want to build it. We don't want anybody popping in while we're doing this. Oh God. So get it set up right here. Right here will usually show a list of anyone who's in your server. And we'll get into the other stuff right here. You can always edit a channel to other stuff. So we'll get into that here in a minute. So if you go right up here, hit that. Servers. Well, what I usually do is first things first. Is I'll edit that category, hit edit category, then I'll hit this right here, and then I'll hit delete category, confirm, long press, edit channel, right there, delete channel, same thing here. Oh, okay. It does, I keep forgetting that it does that right here. Delete. Edit channel. Right here. Delete. Sometimes it gets weird like that. Now it's all blank. So now you can start working in whatever you want to do. Usually the first thing that I do is I go in, you go to server settings, and you can also do stuff like right there too. First thing I'll do is I'll go in, you get the overview, so you got this stuff right here. You got the moderation. You can set it up to where it has, they must have a verified email on their Discord account. They must be registered on Discord for longer than 5 minutes, or they must also be a member of the server for longer than 10 minutes, and this is, allowing them to speak. So if you don't want them, if you want only people who have verified their accounts to talk into your server, then you'll go low, or, they have to have been registered with Discord longer than 5 minutes, go. Or they must also be a member of the server for longer than 10 minutes, go there. Or they must have a verified phone on their Discord account. That one seems a bit excessive to me. Scan, explicit content filter. Oops. All this stuff. You can go in. Me personally, the one I usually do is you gotta verify your email. I don't want, some sketchy person running amok in my servers. I've got Discord bots that we'll go into here in a minute. All right, then in your overview you got your overview, your moderation, your audit log. So as you can see right here, it's already got some stuff. The invite was right here, was created whenever I deleted, or when I created the server, right? I removed that category. I removed that channel. I removed that category. I removed that channel. And then I made changes. What changes did I make? Oh, that's showing you the changes that I made in the, what it takes to talk in here, right? So anything you do will show up in there. Your channels right here will give you a list of everything. You can create them. If you go here, hit category, then usually the categories will shift and close together, and then you long press and you can move them up and down as you wish. And I'll show you this here again in a minute. So then you got your integrations. I can't do this right now because I'm on mobile, so there's not a whole lot that I can jack with on that. Security, enable server-wide 2FA requirement, two-factor authentication. I can't even talk today. We'll back out. Emojis, if you get it done right, you can upload and create your own custom emoji. Usually you have to do like what I do is, I can't show you yet because I don't have anything set up yet, but then there's that. Now user management. You can manage your members from here. You can manage roles, create instant invites, bans. Who do you have banned? Instant invites. It'll show you a list of every instant invite that you've made. Roles. Don't have any roles yet, so first thing I'm going to do is my server. So my role is going to be right there. Then you hit there. You can assign colors. If you have a desktop and you start using Discord on the desktop, you can actually do a whole lot more as far as colors, because the colors are pretty limited, right? Role display, so members appear separately from everyone else. Allow anyone to mention me, to mention me. So now anyone can mention me. Obviously, I'm an administrator. What administrator does is anybody that you give that role to has complete access to the entire server. They can't delete the server, but they can definitely go in and delete, say, all the roles that are lower in ranking than them. They can go and delete all of that. They can go and delete channels. They can go in and delete messages. You want to be very careful with who you give this thing. It is a dangerous permission to grant. They can literally destroy your entire server with this permission if you piss them off, or that was their entire goal from the get-go. Some of this stuff is unnecessary for me to click. I just go ahead and do it just for the sake of doing it. And save. Back out. First role is there. Second role would be, moderators. I'm not the best at spelling, so thank God I have autocorrect. Moderators, those are the people that I would trust the most to, keep a lookout on the server, right? So give them a color. Make sure they're separated from everybody else, so then you know who is who. Allow anyone to mention this role, right? Don't give them administration. But what you can do is you can let them view the audit log. You can allow them to manage roles, to assign people roles for you. You don't want, I think that one's a bit excessive. Allow them to kick members. I'll definitely allow them to kick members. I don't know quite yet if I would allow them to ban members or not. That depends on how you want them to moderate. If you want to have them kick someone and then you investigate it yourself when you get back, or do you want them to, do you trust them enough to make a banning decision without you around? It varies on how, you want to go about it. Right now, I haven't decided whether or not I trust anybody enough to do it. Let them manage nicknames. Let them you know, manage emojis, let them manage webhooks, you know, manage messages, you know, mute. I don't want them to really mute, but they can definitely deafen members and move people between the voice calls. Save. Now, supporters. Got those right there. You know, so give them that role right there. Display them separately. Allow anyone to mention this role. Usually I usually don't let them just invite anyone in. You know, I want it to be TikTokers. I don't want just, for this particular server, I want it to be just TikTokers. I don't want random, you know, it depends on how you want that server to be about. Like, you know, and then leave everything else the same. Everything else is the basic permissions that anybody gets when you make a role. So that's good. Now, like I said, if I gave this role right here, administrative, they could go in and delete that role, or they could go into this role and they could change everything about it and pretty much screw anybody who has that role or whatever. But like, say, you know, this server right here is invite only. Like, you don't join that server unless, you know, you're invited. Same thing with these servers right here. All three of these of mine are invite only. You know, like, you don't want, if depending on what the server's about, depends on whether or not you want just anybody to invite anybody. Actually, no. This server is open for anybody to invite anybody, I believe. Maybe. All right. So now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. So first thing you want to do is you want to create a category. This is going to categorize what you have going on. So, you know, usually the first thing I do is I create chit chat, right? Then I go here and I go create the next one. Create category. Private. Moderators, obviously, because I'm the owner of the server and I also have administrative access. That means I can bypass any and all permission restrictions. So supporters wouldn't have access to any channel that I put in this category, but moderators would. If I create another role that's for administrative, they can bypass this permission as well. So I'll put this as what the hell? Right there. Save. All right. So now we've got two basic categories, right? I'll probably build more, but for the sake of keeping this video as short as possible, you know, we won't do that, but watch. See how it's got that locked thing right there? That means that it is a locked channel. So the cool thing about this is when you create a channel and make it private or something like that, nobody else can see it. Like, it won't even show up for them. This right here, for anybody who would have like that supporter role that I made, it's neither one of these. Both of these are going to be completely invisible. It will never even show up on their screen unless I promote them to a moderator. Then it'll suddenly appear for them. So by creating certain roles to do this, that, and the other, you allow yourself to, you know, make categories, things like that. Now, naturally, you're going to see everything. So you might have a whole bunch of clutter all throughout right here, but only certain people in this list right here would ever see that stuff. And you can also go to a user, manage user, apply role, change their nickname. So there we go. And this is mostly for those who are creating a server for the first time. So those of you who want to navigate through things like that, you know, it's actually really easy. So got rid of those messages. What I like to do is I like to do this. I like to create a welcome channel. Hold on. Send a message, you mess it up, right? Edit. Send. And I'll have that right there. It's really pretty easy once you start to figure out, and you'll be able to do so much more with it when you figure out how to work it and manage it. All right, so then, you know, you go right here. So I created a welcome channel, right? I'll go here and I'll create chit chat. This is for everyone. This is for people who don't have moderator access, right? So then I go here, server settings. Now that I have the channels and categories started, I can start, you know, making it easier for when people join. So right here where it says system messages channel. So you'll hit that and you'll hit welcome. And then you do that. And the reason I do that is so when somebody joins the server, there's always a joined server message. In this case, when I invited my friend Ambience, it didn't notify that it brought her in because I didn't have any channels for it to do so. But now I can go here and then come over here, right here. Oops, not that. We'll move this down here now. Hit there, go to channel settings. In channel settings, I can change the name of the channel. I can create a channel topic. Channel topics will appear right up here where it says no topic set, right? So channel settings, permissions. If you make it an NSFW, NSFW stands for not safe for work. Be sure to do that. Me personally, what I like to do, why does it, oh, it won't let you pin messages. Ooh, I didn't know that. If you make it not safe for work, usually what I like to do with that is I like to create a role and name that role NSFW. And then I'll create a category. I'll create one of these, a category for NSFW, and then I will do it just like I did this. It's to where I will lock it down so that nobody can go in there if they don't have the NSFW role. Nobody can see it, nobody can access it, nothing. Because that way I can better moderate and control, you know, who goes in and out of there. You know, it makes it so much easier for me. Somebody's doing something they're not supposed to in there. You know, I can take them right out of there. You know, if they're, you know, acting up, being rude, doing something to somebody that shouldn't be done, I can completely restrict their access to that without having to kick them from the server to do so. Or if they're under the age of 18 and they somehow manage to get in here, I can make sure, you know, hey, no, you're not going to see this stuff. You're not old enough to see this stuff, you know. But it's back to the welcome. And welcome, oops, you'll go right here, you go to channel settings, permissions, add role, add everyone. What I do is I make sure in this particular channel, you can read the messages, you cannot send messages, nobody can manage that stuff. No sending, no managing, no embedding links, no attaching files. They can read the message history. They can't mention anyone. They can't do anything. I let them at least, you know, I'll let them react to stuff. Right? So now there's that. Now add role. Supporters. Oh, wait, no. Don't even got to do that. So now it's still a basic channel. Anybody and everybody can see it. I don't have to lock it down. But by doing so, by doing all this, I've made sure that everybody can read it. Everybody can, this right here allows people to see it. If you do that, it'll disappear for everybody and turn it into a locked channel. But with this, I don't have to make it a locked channel to hide from everybody. They can still see it. They just can't send messages, links, files, anything, but they can also read the history. So that way, everybody sees it and they can react to this, that, and the other. But that right there is just the basics of how to work and create your own channel. I would highly suggest not going in here and creating channels and then be like, ooh, wait, I want to lock that down. So then you suddenly go in here, permissions, and then you just start jacking with all this stuff, and then you end up doing something crazy. Usually another thing I like to do is I like to go up here. This is a personal thing that I always do. But actually, rather than do it right now, I'll just go and show you here. Personal thing I always do is updates or announcements. I need to go and change that text font in there. I will usually put the welcome there, announcements, depending on how many roles I have, I'll do that. Rules, channel suggestions, if somebody's got an idea for a channel, that would be helpful to the server, allow them to put their ideas there, make it a rule that, they don't clutter it too much. Give them a little information, let them give a little information about themselves for everybody to see, for you to see, for me, me to see in my concern. If they have concerns or questions, give them the option to do that. That's something I tend to do in most of my servers. But all right. Let's go back to where we need to be. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. And that's just a short video of how to create your own server. And then the simplest things is, last thing, chit chat, hit that here, at. If you hit the at logo, it'll pull up roles. So if you have the role taggable, they can tag the role, tag moderator, tag that role, or I can tag the people in specifically so they come see it. So there is also that. And actually, just for some people that don't know, if you ever want to do something like this, 1, 2, 3, or 1, oops, star, words, star, italicized, right? Double star. Hey. One, two, three. And then bold and italicized. And there you go. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, have fun with it.